All right, since everyone's here, do we want to call the meeting to order at 1:06?
Yeah.
I'm still trying to find the stupid Google.
Yeah.
I'm totally useless at this stuff, but
Hold on, I can send it to you all again right now.
Let's see, Neighborly Berry Committee at gmail.com.
Let's do that.
That's the email. Oh, sorry, that is email. No, but it is Neighborly Berry. That's what I remember about it. Is the name of it. I've got.
I'll send it to everybody right now.
It's all linked is the problem in huge conversations. I have to go all the way to the top to get it.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Searching is not an easy task.
Yeah. Well, it's easier on a
Keeps
computer,
trying to
I will say.
sign me in with something that I don't want to sign in with.
Yeah. Let's see. I think if I go to Google Drive, that's where it shows up.
There, if you check your email, it should be in your email.
Thank you.
Try that. The top thing on my email right this minute is something that says assassination markets loading.
I think I just stopped that.
It's actually Lever Daily.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, Ginger, I don't have it.
check
I
your
mean,
mail.
Tracy, I don't have it.
You don't have it?
Actually,
just
I know why
emailed it
it's
to me.
so weird.
Check your mail.
Just make sure I am.
But I wrote,
online.
I don't really need them.
That's true.
Well, you need the other stuff that's on the Google Drive.
Yes, yeah, agenda and stuff.
Well, and the stuff that Ginger sent us that I haven't looked at, I'm afraid.
Oh, that's fine. You don't need to. They're just ideas, follow-up stuff, but.
All right, now I've got the link.
So based on the agenda, we were gonna have two people from the Career Center. They're on vacation this week. They said that they might be able to join the Zoom, but I don't see them here, so we can table that conversation to a later day and time. So next up was the wellness in the library continued conversation on the agenda.
Are we done with the meeting minutes from the last meeting? Don't do that.
Oh, we should probably
Yeah, that's usually
those
Right.
right after we call the meeting to order.
yeah. So I have some comments on the meeting minutes.
Yeah,
One of them is that Maddie's name is not accurately spelled in the minutes.
Okay.
It's a pet peeve of mine.
Let me go
It's spelled
into
Maddy. It's Madeline.
Okay, Maddie.
Maddy. And I just wondered whether there isn't much about those conversations, and I wondered whether that's okay, which is fine, or whether we just want to attach the write-up that I did to the minutes, if anybody wants any more detail. I mean, I don't really care one way or the other. I just wanted to ask the question. And then we had a lot of conversation about the font.
That's true. Yeah. Yeah.
So, whatever y'all want to do. I assume that these minutes are only for us and that they're not going to become public.
They
Or is that
because of the
correct?
open meeting law, they do
They do,
public.
okay. Because I would hate like heck to have the people who spent, half an hour with me read them and say,
Read
"Well,
it.
that's what you got out of our conversation."
Right,
And then they'll never want to talk to me again.
Although, with the open meeting law, the things that need to be in minutes are resolutions and results of votes more than discussion. So, it's just saying discussion, an in-depth discussion ensued is probably adequate for open meeting law
Okay, good
minutes.
enough. I'm not gonna worry about it.
But yeah, I mean, I do appreciate though you saying that because I feel like that comes up with the meeting notes from city council a lot. It's
sure.
like the community's voices don't feel heard because they're not represented at all in the meeting.
Sure.
It's just kind of like when there was the ordinance around what
Or the civil
conspiracies,
conduct.
and, there was like 20 plus people that spoke out against it, but then it was like, or the building that was sold.
I agree.
All these people spoke out, but then in the meetings, it was just like council voted to approve. It just really is,
Right.
can be very disqualifying for people.
I agree with you. And I'm just
Yeah.
telling you what
what's
I was
required.
told when I said, this doesn't actually reflect what happened.
Right. Actually, you're the one who brought that to the attention. Yes.
This
So,
is a bad process, guys.
right. So do we want to repeat
Thank
that
you, Beth.
here? Yeah.
Well, nothing in what they said to you would be bad for them if it's released to the public. I guess that's the only thing, they're talking about there. As long as they're happy with it, I don't think there's
But I
a
don't think we
problem.
need it. I mean, I think that the
Yeah.
bottom line of what we're saying
Yeah.
is that what we have here is sufficient. So let's just go with that. I'm perfectly okay either way. I just wanted to raise the question.
Unless, I don't have minutes in front of me. Unless we wanted to say, now I do. Thank you. Oh my God, these are little.
Beth has yours a little bit more.
So we do talk about what they're doing already. That's good.
I thought we talked about like tabling the wellness stuff for a while. As well, the wellness library. And just because there's all this other, we've kind of
Yeah, we're trying, I think we're trying to,
get a
we were
direct
trying to,
result.
right. Yeah, and prioritize the first
Yeah.
things as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is probably okay. It's more than the council thinks.
I think good enough. Let's just go with that.
We did talk about that.
Yeah, and then it has,
The
the vision statement, which is
good.
nice, and that, I don't know if that is attached to the minutes or will go up. That is actually very important to get out there.
Yeah, that needs to go out.
Yeah.
That might be something, the vision statement might be something that we just attach to the meeting warning
Okay.
email that goes out, just
Oh, that's a
so
great
that people
Oh,
know
well,
what
that's a nice
we're
idea.
doing. Neighborly vision.
Are we ready to post that vision statement on front page forum?
I don't know why not.
Yeah.
I mean, did anyone
I
have
did-
things we wanted to change on it?
I didn't have anything to change, but I did draft and put in the documents a potential email if we wanted to go towards inviting people
Mhm.
to the logo, do a logo contest. Then I thought that would be in. I drafted a potential introductory email about the committee with a vision statement, and going. I think they've been going over the values. It's in the Google Drive.
So basically,
Pull it up.
this document. The one
No,
that-
no, no.
Okay, not that.
It's one that would go out. It's called potential email draft for Front Porch Forum about logo design contest.
Oh, no, I did see that, yes. I
Um,
just didn't print that one out.
so a little bit introducing the neighborly Barre committee, the mission.
I don't see that in the.
Let's see.
Oh,
Top to bottom left.
yeah. Let's see, if I go
microphone
back to the
here.
list, it's, oh, come on,
Oh,
away. It's,
after pit forward and before wellness.
yeah. At least on mine.
Is it in your Google Drive? Because sometimes I put them in Drive and they don't go to the right.
No, well, I have them on mine, so.
I see it.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Um,
So it's just potential email.
yes.
That's what it's called.
Potential email draft for Front Porch Forum post about logo design contest. I think is the goal. But anyways, I just
Mhm.
used chat to help me develop that.
Yeah, I like this. I think this would be.
I know, it doesn't want to do it.
Eric.
No.
Then I just
There
highlighted
it
like
goes.
areas.
It was doing.
Yeah, and we do have the email address for the committee now, so it can go to that.
Up to 5, I think, but I
Yeah.
don't know if we need 5.
Help me with this email. That is not for us to communicate among ourselves. That is for people to write in.
Yeah.
What seems to me we really need. We can't all be responding.
No.
No, you need an
That's why I think
administrator.
it'd be good.
I
to
have it on
layers.
my computer. I've got 8 emails up, so it's constant on my computer. So
People are
I'll get.
using it.
No one's
No,
used
no,
it.
you
You
have 8.
used it
You-
once.
You have 8 different.
I
email
have
accounts
8
that
different email accounts
that you
on
check it every
my
day.
computer that
They've been
it-
adjourned.
Okay, I was just
Yeah,
Okay,
I'll
so
just
like-
have it on my computer and
Because you want to be,
I don't necessarily, I just want to know, like, if, if we do the logo, it'd be nice, like, is that something maybe you would
Yeah.
forward to the whole group every time we got a submission or something?
or weekly.
Or,
Yeah,
Something like-
emulate them a little.
But
Yeah.
do I hear you saying that you really don't want to be running this account?
No, I can
Oh,
run
okay.
it. I have it on my I have it right
Okay.
here. So I'm watching it.
Okay. Thank you,
Right.
Tracy.
Yeah.
Just do it from the top, you usually can get the search.
But if we logged into that account, would we see submissions?
I mean, all right now is the email from you. That's it. Because we
Okay.
haven't put it out to anybody. So
Right.
no one really knows
Okay.
it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going back to the drive.
Good plan.
Then we can.
I'm sorry, I'm distracted.
Yeah, well, there's too many things.
So the
So-
question is, do we want to open the logo contact test now? And I think, why not?
Sooner,
I'm okay with it.
sooner done, it'll, if you set a month, it'll be done Easter.
do we have any contacts, at the school, like high school or at Central Vermont, Career Center for the art?
I do.
You do, yeah.
Yeah.
I think it'd be cool if we could get it out to like the high school students.
Yeah. Back a couple years ago, we did an art drawing contest for an event that we had, and so I have all the art teacher emails at all the Barre schools. So I'll send it to all of them.
Does it make
Yes.
sense to send the logos that you made and say something like, "Can you better this?"
We can
Yeah.
like.
Or here are two ideas to get your juices flowing, or something like that.
In the email, it does say like kind of the themes. It might be nice not to sway people,
Okay.
like, you know what I mean? To just let people kind of be creative
Yeah.
without having like examples. But
So, are you willing to take charge of this?
sure,
Great.
Okay.
I mean, we'll vote as a committee on it.
Sure.
but I can I'm happy to send out the email and it's like for Porch Forum.
Okay.
And then Tracy, you're gonna do the art school people,
Yep.
and then we just kind of wait.
Yeah. So just put that email address in that, and then we want it by April 2nd.
Sure, that sounds good to me.
Good.
And I can even make a couple flyers. I can do like a little flyer to put up at some of
That's a
the
good
local
idea.
bulletin boards. Just say, help us create a logo. We're your community.
Yeah. One and one in the library in the
Yeah,
kitchen.
okay,
Mhm.
yeah. I can send the flyer around to the committee, if people, if that's okay to approve through email.
And in this, is it too much to say in this email that we're a new committee and we'd love to have you participate, and if you'd like?
It's in there. Did you
Okay,
get
I
to
haven't
read?
seen that.
Oh, okay, yeah. Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, do you want me to read it, actually? Would
Sure.
that be helpful?
Down at the bottom, the Neighborly Berry Committee is email is spelled wrong. I'm just gonna fix that.
Let's go back.
So it just says, hello neighbors, we're excited to introduce the Neighborly Berry Committee, a city council created group focused on building connection, encouraging volunteerism, and supporting projects that help make Barre a more welcoming, beautiful, and connected place to live. Our mission is simple: to create opportunities for neighbors of all ages to come together, to support one another, and take pride in our community. Guided by values like inclusion, accessibility, kindness, and collaboration, we aim to strengthen social connections, support civic beautification efforts, and to make Barre a place where everyone feels they belong. As we begin this work, we're inviting the community to help shape our identity through a Neighborly Barre logo design competition. Logo design contest call for submissions. We're looking for a logo that reflects the spirit of Neighborly Barre, welcoming, connected, inclusive, and community-driven. This selected logo will be used on committee communication events and materials. What we're looking for: a design that represents connection, neighborliness, and community pride, inclusive and warm themes, simple, clear, and easy to recognize, and suitable for print and digital use. Who can participate? Anyone in the Barre community, all ages and skill levels welcome. how to submit. Please send your design, digital file, or clear photo of artwork to neighborlyberrycommitteebt@gmail.com by April 2nd, 2026. Selection process. Submissions will be reviewed by the committee, and community input will be included as part of the selection process. Community, that's if, I guess, people come to that meeting.
Yeah.
Where we vote.
Okay.
And then this is just the beginning of what we hope will be many neighbor-powered projects and partnerships across Barre. We look forward to connecting, collaborating, and building a stronger community together. If you'd like to get involved or learn more, please reach out. We'd love to hear from you.
That's
With
excellent.
appreciation.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that is excellent.
Sounds pretty woke, though.
Well, that's right. That's good. I'm good with that.
We're woke.
Sleeping.
Woke is
sleeping
good.
Woke
Well,
is
yeah.
good.
To be woke at 125, that's pretty good.
Yeah, exactly.
Still woke.
On
Okay,
Monday.
still- On a Monday. Still woke. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's all good.
someday they'll define.
Do we need a motion to
Yeah.
put that forward? Oh, I make it. We empower her to.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Any further discussion?
No.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, contrary minded is.
So we have tasks for that, just follow-up tasks. I'll email Front Porch Forum. Tracy's gonna email the schools, and then
Yep.
we just kind of be curious. And I'll make a create a flyer. Put that on my task
Good.
list.
Do we want to do anything on Facebook?
Do we have a Facebook page? Is that
Well,
something someone
that's
wants
my
to do?
question.
We don't have a Facebook page. I could certainly put something on the partnership page
Oh, yeah.
that we're
Oh,
looking for
yeah.
submissions.
That makes
That's
That's a great
good
idea. Yeah, that's better than
a separate
setting
one.
up a separate one.
Did we have a Facebook page?
I would have.
And that's
I
just-
find them.
Yeah,
I think we need someone to monitor it.
We need
Yeah.
somebody to monitor it.
Yeah.
It's not something
When I was on the garden club, that was my job. And I monitored the Facebook page, and it was a real bear. I did it for 2 years, and it just, the return on it was
I
really
think if
abysmal.
you're putting it out and looking, it's hard to grow a page.
Yeah.
I've got 8,000 people
Exactly.
following on the partnership page.
That's much more
I think it makes
sense.
sense. to
Much
Yeah.
more
Tail
sense.
with,
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
the partnership.
Yeah, the garden
Two
club
different
didn't have anything, and they still don't have anything. They have like really no digital.
So Tracy, send to schools, do a social media post. Okay.
Good. And you can when you do the social media post, tag me on it, and I'll make sure it's on my Facebook
Okay.
page too. And
Okay.
just
Can you make your things? Oh, they can't be public.
So
They can't
it'll be public, and then I'll send you an email saying it's up if you want to share it to your personal page.
Oh, so we can do that.
Yeah.
that's perfect. That's just
Great.
Just what I want to.
Yeah.
Here's something I'm up to.
Well, I want to share on the resident chat. That's what I was thinking about.
Right, and very good place. That one, which is
I'm
better
not
than
in that one.
that one's less toxic than the resident chat.
That one.
Which one is that?
Very a good place.
Oh,
I just follow it. I mean, I don't actually belong to it, but I have it. It shows up in my feed, and I'm trying to think who. I don't know who runs that one, but anyway, it is, as I said, slightly less toxic than the other one.
Yeah, because the other one gets nasty sometimes.
Uh-huh.
well,
I don't,
That's not
read,
the
I don't read the comments. I stopped doing that a long time ago.
Oh, the comments.
Yeah, she said that.
Yeah.
Great.
Good. So what's next?
well, I think we were tabling the wellness.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're tabling the
Okay,
wellness.
so we're on to, it looks like Amanda and the drain.
And the drains. Okay.
And we talked briefly about it the other
Yeah.
meeting.
Yeah. And I mean, I can say a little more, or maybe reiterate what I said in case you don't remember, but this Adopt a Drain program is something the council, it's a subscription thing that is run out of some university in the Midwest. And it provides us with a lot of data and for figuring out how storms actually affect the drainage system, and how our infrastructure responds to flooding. But the first part of that is that we have to have GPS mapping of every storm drain in the system, which is, I'm trying to remember what Nicholas said, 2,200 drains or something. It's a lot, but it's easy. You just go and stand on it with your cell phone and hit a button. And so Amanda's hope was that we might be able to, put out a call for volunteers and get a whole bunch of people to do this as, sort of a first step to just get everything mapped so that we'd be in a good position to do that. And obviously it's not effective until you can see the drains. So this is probably an April project, or even a May project, which will give us a little more time to, would give us more time to find some people.
It seems incredible that Public Works Department doesn't have a map of this stuff.
They may. Have you been looking in their map room ever?
No.
They may have, that was the point. They may have a map of it, but first of all, we're not sure whether it's completely up to date. And secondly, they probably can't find it because the map room looks like,
well, it's like a hive.
it looks like
there's like things.
My office.
When I worked at the Aldrich in the 90s, I got a tour of it, and it was terrifying because it was a wall with little holes in it with things stuck in it that they didn't know.
Right.
And actually the description of what's over in the Alumni Hall with a cemetery, and that's just the cemetery mapping is great.
Then the other problem, a paper map is not the same as a GPS map.
Yeah.
Because what the program wants is a satellite map. With the GPS, because that's how they track stuff. So,
and we know that the folks who want this data are good people, or are they?
It's Vanderbilt, I think, isn't it? Is it?
I think it might be Vanderbilt.
I think it's Vanderbilt University.
I think they're reasonably good people.
So do we still have a viable Boy Scout troop in the city, or a Girl Scout troop?
Yeah,
this seems like
so.
This might be a really good.
Well, to me, it's also the like middle school and high school science, but also it would be fun to mentor to get
right.
Right.
It'd be a nice way to connect.
So we might need to talk to schools about it potentially, and to the Boy Scouts and the Girl Scouts. Yeah. Yes, there are Girl Scouts still around because I just bought some candy. They weren't doing cookies.
So how many drains did you say we have?
I think it's 2,200.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
Yeah. But there's like 3 on just Orange Street, or 3 or 4.
Right. Nicholas had some number that he popped out at one point, and I didn't write it down, and I'm sure I can't find it in my notes.
In that neighborhood.
Yeah.
But it's it's a lot. Somewhere between 1,200 and 5,000.
What was the didn't the city council approve like $10,000 for this project? And
it comes with there's a lot of data. This is the first step, but it provides us with a lot of data. It also provides us, we bought some curriculum packages for school science tie-ins, and I think and the 10,000 is the money that involves setting it up at first, and then the ongoing subscription price is considerably less, although I can't remember the exact amount.
Was it $1,000 a year? I can't remember. I was at that meeting.
It was
$1,000 a year, something like that. It was actually relatively.
It wasn't too expensive, and it sounded like it would give us a lot of good data, especially given the fact that we can't really send city workers into the storm drain system because it's too dangerous, because gas backs up, and we don't have a lot of camera drones and crap like that. And this would give us a lot of information without putting extra stress on the overburden,
pothole and road
repair, which is what everybody wants.
So if there's curriculum available, this seems like something that the school kids should be doing.
Well, I think
It's
it would be.
Maybe not us.
Well, I'm not sure what the curriculum looks like because I haven't seen that, and I don't know whether it's about hygrometer stuff and measuring rainfall and figuring out what. But the reason why, I mean, Amanda really brought this to me and said, this is something you guys can help with because the first step is to get these damn things mapped. And all you have to, all people have to do is go out and stand on the thing and push their cell phone button to map the locations.
But it's got to go somewhere.
But it's, I mean,
that measurement has to go somewhere.
well,
Yeah,
that's the,
GPS.
that's the piece where, we can, so if we say, great, we want all these volunteers to do this. We send the thing out to the adult, the adult mentors, and the adult mentors send it to their kid team, and the kids go out and do it, and they plug the stuff in. And so it just seemed like an easier way to get.
So I stand on a drain and some app or something gives me numbers. And then those numbers get sent somewhere.
They get sent to Vanderbilt or whoever's running it.
But what good is that? Wouldn't it be better to say at the corner of Hill and Main?
No, because the satellite stuff can track this in real time with satellites, and that's how their tracking system is set up. And so they get the data of how much water came down, and then they get the data of stuff where.
So we aren't really doing this for the benefit of the city, then.
We are for the benefit of the city because the city needs to know where the rainwater is going before we spend $450 million on rebuilding the infrastructure.
So will they get these GPS data points too?
The city, what we get is we get the data back when the Vanderbilt people collect the data, and we get the data back in a form that we can actually use. We don't have anyone on staff who knows how to collect and process the data into what we need to know, but they do. And there are a lot of different municipalities that are participating in this because there are a lot of flood-prone areas that are trying to do something proactive.
I suspect that if we asked Vanderbilt, they could send us a map.
Sure.
With that detail, because the government mapping is, and that's what the universities use, is very detailed.
Right. You get a Google map. You get a Google map with all the turn rates on it.
Yeah. Well, but yeah, and the city can probably use it. On the whole, the city doesn't need that information until and unless they want to rebuild,
Right.
and then they might be able to get that
And
sent directly.
the other reason why the city needs
rebuild
that information is because if we have people who actually adopt a drain and say we're going to, which is what the program is called, we're going to make sure that there's not crap all over it so that it actually functions the way it's supposed to. If the city has the city will have the map of what drains have been adopted, and that cuts down on the randomness of the public works people. They don't have to wait for somebody to call in and say there's a giant puddle because the drain isn't working. They know that these 50 drains don't have anybody who's adopted them, so they can just drive by during a rainstorm and see make sure they're all functioning. And that was one of the things that seemed like a real win for us because we don't have enough people to send them out to survey 2,200 drains.
Right.
If we can limit it, it's much better.
Especially since it's usually in an emergency when it's happening.
Right.
So
Yeah.
does anybody know what this app is, or
I'm assuming it's developed by Vanderbilt.
I believe
So-
that it's developed by.
everybody's
Vanderbilt.
going to do this needs this app?
I would assume so.
I'm thinking. I don't know. Amanda. If Amanda were here, she'd know these. These are the kind of grain, the detailed stuff that we didn't get into at council. So I don't know.
Do
But
we need a motion to?
Maybe we can invite her to next month's meeting and we can talk about it then, because then we'll be hopefully without snow soon after next month's meeting. And then we can see if we can help
Mhm.
find some volunteers for
Is
her.
there a desired time frame to have this work done by?
I mean, Amanda realizes that we can't do it in the winter.
No, I know, I realize that, but
Yeah.
I'm just wondering if we're looking at school year ending June of
I
26.
think we'd like to have it all mapped before that.
So I just wonder if waiting until next month to get Amanda here might push us back too far, because school's curriculum is already developed for the rest of the year.
Well, yeah, I
And I
mean,
think getting ourselves inserted in there might if we wait too long, we're not gonna have
I'm
kids.
wondering whether, rather than thinking of this as inserting it into the curriculum for this, I mean, this is just the first step.
Right.
If we look at this first step and we say, well, gee, we've got this logo contest going that's going to reach into the schools, we can also start reaching into the schools and say, we're, Neighborly Barre is doing this thing that's helping the
Mhm.
city. And, sort of set a work day or something,
Yeah.
ask the kids, ask the teachers and the science teachers,
Volunteer day.
for a volunteer day.
Yeah.
And that might be more effective than trying to say to the science people, we want you to bring your class out here on, May
Yeah.
15th.
There's also a lot of businesses in this area who pay their employees to go and volunteer.
Yeah, that would
For
be
half a
another
day,
place to.
or-
Yeah, Down Street, National Life.
Yes, yeah,
I'm
yeah.
on both of
Right.
their
Yeah.
their
Yeah, that would be
websites.
another place to
Washington
we
look
could-
for,
Mental
yeah.
for us to look
Yeah.
for
places do that.
volunteers.
The
It's
hospital.
And I think making notes of all these possible sources of volunteers and
Yeah.
getting Amanda in here to tell us what the volunteers actually have to do and what are the tools they need in order to do it, so that we
Yeah.
know what app to use, what app and how to get the information where it needs
Yeah.
to be would
Okay.
make sense. But to start, sending out the feelers saying we're thinking about doing this, want to help to the various places that can do that.
I will say, it's Hamline. I forgot about that. Yeah, it's Hamline in Minnesota. It's a Minnesota university.
It's good.
Oh, so it's not Vanderbilt.
Not Vanderbilt,
No,
sorry,
oh,
it's
okay.
Hamline.
Yeah.
And that's the map of the states that are currently, or cities and states that are currently using it in Vermont. So there may be other towns in Vermont using this.
Yeah, there are.
Yeah.
I
So
was
you
just
could
talking
always
about that.
ask. But
I think Burlington and Brattleboro, if I'm remembering
yeah,
correctly.
that would make sense. So it's got fairly and it's
Can you
basically
send that link to us?
sure.
Thank you.
Yeah. Oops, copy link. Whoops. Oh, thank you. Just copy it, you jerks. No. It's
Okay.
the fat finger problem. There we go.
I was just thinking about.
Yeah, no, I think that's good.
Yeah.
I think that's good and good to raise that, but yeah.
Here, because I haven't actually sent.
Teachers love it when somebody says, here's this curriculum that you can use to plug and play.
Yeah. Well,
They
that's
do.
why we're,
Yeah.
I mean, I think
That would be a fall
that
thing, probably.
introducing the curriculum packages that we've purchased will be it for fall.
Yeah.
And at least the summer to work that out.
But we
This
might
is-
be able to get kids to come do this in the summer.
We might be able to get kids to come do this in the summer and,
On vacation.
It seems to me like 20 people could do this in an afternoon.
Oh, I think it's bigger than that.
I think that it would be tedious as hell, and I think it would be much more social and fun
Yeah.
to do it as a neighborhood thing.
yeah. Yeah.
Just saying, my neighborhood anyway has a lot of activity going on, and I think I
Yeah,
could.
I mean, and if we organize it as a neighborhood event, it,
Yeah.
serves that double purpose of pulling people together and, we could organize it as 3 ward events and, I can bring that to the other counselors.
It's not
That
boring.
The words are
Um,
big though.
The
Don't
words
you
are
remember
big. I know. the
when
words
you
are
walked all those?
big.
Yeah.
The words are big.
They're really big
but
geographically.
yeah,
they're
and
big.
so it makes
let's-
more sense to do
yeah,
it in
let's
little
do
neighborhood
neighborhoods.
clusters and maybe, suggest to people that they pair this with a neighborhood gathering of some kind, cookies and
Potluck
cider
or
or potluck
big-
or a
big sale or
big
something,
sale or a
big
something.
giveaway or something. Yeah.
Yeah, so that we make it a kind of a fun
Fun.
community event rather than a task that 20 people have to do.
All work.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's,
Yeah.
let's do some.
How would we do that? Make it a fun community event versus a task the city's asking us to do.
Well, I think the key is to get people to make some connections with people, either, both in the schools and through the schools and the parents, and through our neighborhoods, and to sort of suggest to the neighborhood folks that we talk to that wouldn't it be fun to do this, wouldn't it be fun to have a this involved with it?
Are there people in this room that have active neighborhood right now? I think that's one of my challenges is like, I think our initiative is to create communication and activity in the neighborhoods.
Sure.
And I'm not sure that, I mean, in my neighborhood, it's like, I know a couple neighbors, but I just know them like when I walk by their house with my dog. And so it's very
Same.
like,
Yeah.
I just don't want to rely on that for like how we generate interest or how
I'm
we
saying
start
that
to.
this is all little
Yeah.
pieces. It's not, the neighborhoods aren't going to do it all. The schools aren't going to do it all. I think that this is an opportunity to begin forming those
Yeah.
neighborhoods, like even
Try
just
to find-
knocking on the doors and having flyers saying,
Okay.
this is what we're trying to do.
Well, that's
Because
what I'm
unless
trying to
you-
understand is like,
yeah.
what responsibilities are we taking on as a committee? Like, are we
Yeah.
all doing this, knocking on neighbors' doors to give them flyers about the storm initiative? So that's what I'm just trying to
Right.
figure out, like, what am I signing up for?
Sure.
And I think there's some existing groups.
I think there are some
Um,
existing groups. I keep hearing from Amanda and Tess that they, have been trying to get the neighborhood captains program going, and they keep thinking this would be great for the neighborhood captains, and then the next line is, why doesn't the neighborly Barre people take
Right.
over the
That's what
neighborhood
I'm
camp?
concerned. Like,
Yeah.
And, it's like,
What's
no,
the
no.
I don't even know what the neighborhood captains is.
It's a more urban thing, I think.
It's a more urban thing. It's a thing where there's somebody who says, I'll take on the responsibility of getting to know all the neighbors in the area, and, finding some people to help check on the people who are vulnerable for this reason and that reason.
Yeah.
and that
So it's kind of like neighborhood watch.
it's like
for your
neighborhood
neighbors.
watch without
Okay.
being focused on crime.
Right.
Or-
Well, it's more like Ellen K's.
Like school kids.
Or on school
Yeah.
kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
That would be a really wonderful thing.
that's what I was thinking more that we were
Yeah.
doing that.
But I'm
Yeah.
thinking for this is just the tentative.
This
We're
is
here.
one- yeah.
And I'm thinking the service groups, the Kiwanis, they're still around, aren't they? The Lions are definitely still around. They have a lot of neighborhood experience in a way. I mean, they're all from neighborhoods. It would be, or
Right.
even they're used to doing service projects.
Yeah.
So I'm speaking to Rotary March thing for Amy's Armoire.
Perfect.
So I'd be happy to.
And put a plug in for
Put a
this.
plug in
too,
for
and
this
say,
too, yeah.
that we're going to have a more in-depth conversation with.
I'll talk about the committee
Yeah.
first.
Yeah, talk about the committee, and
Yeah.
then say this is one of the things we're
Excuse me.
thinking of doing, and let's make sure that we've got Amanda on the schedule before you plug that. But if we can get Amanda nailed down for the neighborly Barre committee meeting on in April, then you could say,
I'm
and
actually doing it in March. So
no, but I'm just saying, if you put, then you can say to them,
Stay tuned.
come to the, check out this meeting, come to this meeting,
Okay.
or, check back with me after, you've had this conversation with Amanda to know exactly what's involved if you're, want to be in.
Because this is also a kind of a flyer situation again,
Right.
So, and I assume actually this organization probably already has some
Right.
template type
I'm sure
flyers.
they do.
Because this is not the first rodeo for these
Yeah,
guys.
yeah.
And actually even asking Brattleboro, or maybe if I can figure out who else is doing it.
You email Amanda, she did talk.
And
to
actually,
various other municipalities.
Now I'm blanking because all I can think of is Luvia, but the mayor of Burlington is I've known since a kid. So
Right. she's
as
Joellen.
Stanek.
Joel
Yeah,
and Stan.
Joellen.
Yeah, Joellen is the
Joellen's
Joellen's kids.
Yeah, Joellen's kids.
Yeah, Luvia is a radio person. Or Lou,
Stan.
sorry, it's Lou now.
Anyway.
But so
Thanks.
there are some connections if you want me to find out how they got it
I think that
organized.
would be worth that would be information that would be good to have.
Yeah.
Um, and that can happen before
Right.
next month anyway.
Next item.
Next item, what's the next item?
Miscellaneous.
Just miscellaneous.
Always exciting.
Miscellaneous, do we know is it, sure it isn't miscellaneous?
So, gonna pull up the minutes from the last meeting, see if. So were we good with the mission statement, the vision statement, and the guiding principles? Like,
Seems
Yeah.
excellent to me.
Yes, those
Okay.
are good.
should I create a flyer or something that just, a one pager about the, and just have all of that information on it? And then we can ask Nicholas to put that on the website, the
Mhm.
City of Barre website.
Great
Yeah.
idea.
That is a
Yeah,
good idea.
nice. Yeah.
In fact, if you send it to me, I'll push it to Roseanne and get her to do it.
Okay.
Post it. And I also think if we can put the mission statement on the
On the bottom of the
on the
email.
agenda that
On the
goes
agenda.
out,
Okay.
the agenda that goes out for the warning. That would be a good thing.
Can you put it on the partnership website too?
The Neighborly Barre.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And maybe on the Facebook page too,
Yep.
post it somewhere there.
Yeah.
It's the kind of thing I think we ought to be yelling.
Yeah,
A lot,
and
like
a lot of
kind of a
people-
lot and everywhere, just so people.
Right. A lot of people have
Start
been,
asking.
asking.
Yeah.
Me and probably you guys as well, what this committee is going to do. And this
Yeah.
is a nice thing to be able to point to and say,
Yeah.
this is our mission, this is our vision, these are our guiding principles. And you want to be involved?
Right.
Want to help?
Help us. Yes.
Enter your address to select the drain.
Yes, this is Burlington, and they clearly have more drains. This is clearly a process, but
Right.
they're still getting the data because they don't. To start the program, you don't need all 2,200 done.
No.
They've only gotten like 400 done at this point.
Okay.
So I think it's more of a let's start it because if you don't start, it won't end. But yeah, and then it has actually you can. There is a map showing them, and you can put your address and stuff. So it does.
Cool.
Anyway, it's interesting. I love it.
Then they have tips for how to clean it out
Yep.
and all this other good
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah. It's very prevent runoff pollution. So it actually has that environmental positivity too. so
Yeah, global warming may not be a thing, but guess what? Floods are.
yeah. Yeah, see, somebody 6 days ago, they do recent identity, signed up for one. So clearly it's ongoing.
And getting kids involved is absolutely the thing to do.
Yeah.
Let's get some buy-in when they're
Yeah,
young.
exactly.
Fashionable.
And that's why I was thinking,
waiting
sort of
until
like,
they're
and
20.
brownies and cookies at the end of it, guys.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All the people who can eat
Yeah.
brownies and cookies and not gain 30 pounds.
Yeah, yeah, there is that.
Is there a slush fund that we could tap into? We talk about various, social events. If we were going to do cookies, say after this great mapping project, where would that money come from?
Donations.
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 That's why we were
Um,
talking about the
That's why we were talking about the 100
plus.
Yeah,
Plus-
do we need to talk about that?
Let's
too?
talk about the 100+ neighbors who care thing.
Okay.
That I think that's cool, and that let's see, Ginger, you said that it's 100+ women who care or something like
Yeah.
that. And but if we adapted that and we just put out a request saying, it would be nice, maybe the first thing to do would be for us to sort of just decide amongst ourselves to throw some money in the slush fund for these things so that we don't, that we could all contribute something to that. And then when we have some things to point to, we can say, help support, the Neighborly Barre initiatives and, have some input into what we do use money for. Because things like, fixing up the bus stops. And I mean, that's been raised as,
Mhm.
you know, in the background. I mean, that was one of the things that Sonia wanted us to do. And Department of Public Works is, of course, being Transportation and Public Works Committee is being obstructive about.
Really?
Well, because it's not our problem, it's it's GMT's problem, and bail those things. It would just, in some ways, it would just be an easier thing to do with donations and through the Neighborly Berry Committee, which doesn't actually have to get the city to approve anything that we want to do.
Yeah, I did put in the Google Drive like a workbook.
Mhm.
I don't thought of it, yeah. So it's a strategy with a timeline and things like that for the 100+ if we wanted to go that direction. And yeah, so that would kind of give us a roadmap based on what they do.
And
Yeah.
what are we asking people to donate? Any amount?
It's 100. So 100. People commit to $100, and right now the campaign is set up on a biannually. So it would be like we'd have awards go out in June and then in December, and so everyone that commits $100 so $200 a year basically, and it can be different people. People can be like, oh, I could do, first $100 for this first, and then see how it goes. And then you have like an email list of everyone that donates, and then there's a meeting where people vote on like 3 organizations or 3 projects that they want to fund with this, and that whatever gets the top 3 votes, and then there's another vote, and then whatever, you can either divide up the money. So say if we had 100 people, that's $10,000, and then that gets divided among 3 organizations. We can decide
Well,
the
except
top one, or
we need to be one of those organizations, right?
what was that?
We need to be.
That's so what we could do is we could
Or our projects.
we could have one of our projects on there, or we could also set it up where 20% goes towards Berry Committee operating fees.
Yeah.
Something like
So-
that, and then the rest goes.
I think we're gonna have a hard time getting enough people to donate $100.
Do you? We would easily do. My husband and I would both do
Well, sure,
100 each.
but I mean, if you think about the community at large, what did we say? 25% of the people who live in Berry are on SNAP?
23% or
It's not, so, and 75% of the people aren't.
That's a pretty low bar.
It makes sense
Yeah.
to allow people to have
Different levels.
different levels.
Yeah,
and-
that's what I would
and-
advocate for, because, if I'm a single mom and I really want to do, and I've got 2 kids and I really want to do something, I can't do $100, but maybe I can give you 50 or maybe give you 25, and I don't want to be
Right.
excluded because I can't give you $100.
Yeah.
Because that would mean we wouldn't be able to eat this week.
Right. Well, I mean, that's someone that really, hopefully we're not burdening them with providing services for more than asking to donate. I mean, we can do anything they want. This is a fundraising campaign though, for people that have money and they want to support
Okay, well, we can start there.
support a thing. But I mean,
Maybe at a later
you know.
point, we can have levels. I don't know, I
yeah,
just feel strongly that it's
yeah.
gonna be an uphill battle.
Yeah.
Oh,
Maybe that's just.
Yeah.
There are a lot of people though for whom $100 is not a lot of money.
Not a lot.
I'm sure there
Yeah.
are a lot,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but 2
We
handfuls,
could
5
make
handfuls.
a little list.
Yeah.
Good enough. I don't know those people, so you apparently do.
Well, I know some of them.
I mean, we talk about this a lot, and I get like I'm a privileged person in this community. But like everyone is like business owners or not, or have many basic needs met and aren't in a place of needing to meet their basic needs. And so that's just the people I know. But I don't know. You all might have different
I
experiences.
just have people who've committed, we have to make a case for why us, because there's so many different things to give to.
Yeah.
And a lot of people have already committed. So
But
that,
this is-
that's more, the people I know of the money, it's like you have to make a really good case
Well,
for them to
but
shift.
this is here. This is us.
Yeah.
Well, I know that,
Yeah.
but I mean, this is us,
But so is
just,
spa.
Yeah.
but
so
that
is-
still doesn't,
Oh.
No.
there are people who care more for elsewhere, if you know
Yeah.
what I mean. That it's, you have to make a good case. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
You can't just say, oh, everybody will want to do this, because no,
Right.
everybody won't.
And that's, I think that's how, a little bit of how the campaign works, is because it's the community investing in the community. And so everyone that puts the $100 in has a vote for like who the money goes to.
Yeah.
And so there is this like,
Yeah,
Shit.
this sounds like something that I should run past Josh Jerome.
yeah, that would be great.
Carrier
Josh
job.
is fabulous. Yeah.
Because this sounds, he also probably has a line on the people who have the resources
Mhm.
to support Barre, and this would be something that if he pushed that out into the community as a BADC thing,
Right.
or if BADC was on board with helping us do it, which is what we would want to do, that might actually help make a really good case among a certain group of people with whom I don't have personally a ton of leverage.
So is this, by just looking at this, the 100+ neighbors who care and doing a campaign, is this kind of like the Pay It Forward campaign?
Well, because that's what we
The
need to
place
do, is if-
the
Yeah.
Pay It Forward, from the information that Joanne gathered, it sounded like the Pay It Forward part, most of the businesses that we talked to were already doing that and felt like the asking for reimbursement was going to be burdening. So what I, sort of in my head, probably didn't actually communicate this out loud, sorry. But in my head, that sort of switched to, oh, well, we should raise money because then we can give money to their programs that are already in position. And we can just sort of say, okay, we're going to send some money to this. And then we might be able to say to somebody like the guy who owns Nelson's, Bob, yes. Here, Bob, we'd like to see this happen. Are you, if we gave you $1,000 to administer to use for people who need this, can we put our sign on your business? And that's an easier sell than saying, and you have to keep track and ask us for reimbursement.
So I was just out in Michigan last week, and I went to a coffee shop, and as I was walking out, they had 2 Pay It Forward campaigns, a new Pay It Forward opportunity. They buy a bus ticket for a neighbor in need. And then there was another one, Pay It Forward, take what you need, leave what you can. Purchase specific items or a $5 or a $10 gift certificate. So we could even, with that, I was thinking, instead of, if we did the fundraiser of getting money in, maybe we could do gift certificates. Here's a $5 gift certificate, and then it's not that paperwork that the business has to do.
Yeah.
That's another possibility.
I'm not just giving some business owner $1,000 and saying,
Okay,
that,
you're suspicious about that.
no,
Do you feel differently if they already have a Pay It Forward program? I mean, it's like Amy's does something and Maddie does stuff. And
Yeah.
if we said to them, can we give you some money for that? Or this for some people, or we gave you some money for that.
well,
Or do you still think that's
I wouldn't, formally object to this, but there's no accounting there.
right? Okay.
The gift certificate thing
The gift
seems like a
certificate
much
is
better
nice
way to
too.
go.
I'd love to know about the bus tickets, because when did they start? They started charging people? That was just brought up at the overnight.
I don't know
shelter
what the bus.
That one of the people who's homeless said it's going to be really, really, really hard. The connection between Barre and Montpelier, they have to pay because food is in both places. They shift back and forth for need. So that's sort of an immediate.
GMT is going to start charging where they're not charging today.
They have not been, because of COVID. They stopped, but they've run
Okay.
into huge money problems. So
Okay.
now they're rescinding a lot of their free. Used to be free during COVID. Before it wasn't. So, but now people are used to not paying, and it has made it much easier for people who don't really have the money. Anyway, that was just something that came up just last night at the overnight
Right.
shelter. It was Danielle
Mhm.
said it, yeah.
I know we kind of shifted, totally fine. But I would say if we want to go forward with the 100+, then I would encourage everyone to look at the roadmap and the Excel sheet, because it's, it's a lot of money that we have the potential to raise. And so there are a lot of components and steps, and it takes planning. And so whether that's something we want to do as a committee, or we want to say like, oh, let's see, Ginger, why don't you see if you can find 5 people in Barre that want to help you run this campaign as part of one of the things that we're doing. That, but just to look at, because it's work. I'm happy to, do a deal of it. And also, like, it's not the pay it forward. So that's a different thing. And it's not really a thing where we're gonna raise this type of money to then give gift cards to the businesses downtown. That's not the intent. The intent is there's a whole process where, and this is based on, this national program really, where people also do a pitch in the community for saying what they would use the money for. Like if there's a new business starting up, say, or a program for girls to empower them. And so the community, it's about community investing in community, and also creating social capital and creating projects and community force to help transform the community. Mm-hmm. And so it's like a different thing. So I just want to be clear,
so,
like it's not.
I'm just, the one thing that I was excited for this was the pay it forward. Mm-hmm. And I know that Ginger has her thoughts about not doing it, but now I'm getting concerned, like, okay, we've got the pay it forward idea. We've got the 100+ neighbors idea. We've got the logo contest. We've got all these things, but we haven't really made progress on anything yet. So, I mean,
we had 2 meetings.
Well, this is our third, and we have one a month.
Yeah.
So I'm just, are we pushing away the pay it forward thing completely? And then, I feel like we just keep adding things to it, and we're not, we have 2 hours a month to meet, and if we keep adding to it but never actually do anything, that's not how I roll.
Yeah, we need to be able to point to some things that we've actually done.
Right.
And I'm glad you brought it up, because I left the last meeting feeling confused about where we left pay it forward, and I just thought it was gone.
Yeah, I mean,
that's where I thought we were.
I understand Ginger doesn't like it, but I think there is a lot of people in here that had great ideas and and so, to dismiss that and then have this one where people have to do $100, where the pay it forward, people could donate $5, and I think that's so much more realistic from people,
Yeah.
And I feel like I like this.
It is.
I feel like this. I like this 100+ neighbors. But what if we get 6 months to a year under our belt, and have this other. I want to see, like, if the Neighborly Barre Committee, if we can raise 2,500, through $5, $10, $25. I
think that's
start small and go, I don't want to set ourselves up for failure and
to Marjorie's point about making a really good case to the people who were asking to do $100, it also makes some sense for us to be able to point to some things that we've done before we start that.
Yeah, if we've done, yeah.
So maybe, if we rethought, I like the pay it forward idea. I like the idea of being able to leverage people's, intrinsic generosity at a level where they aren't feeling burdened by it. Maybe the way to handle that is to say that the pay it forward works. It's still, we still have a QR code, and we still have, ways that this is a way that you can support your neighbors, but have it go through Barre partnership with, with gift cards or, things that,
Or
specifically.
what I can do is, if we're not completely done with this, I can, like when we were brainstorming, I was just
Mhm.
spewing things as they would came out in our initial meeting. But like, I would want to go to the businesses, the owners, and say, all right, if we were going to bring this to Barry, what would it need for you to work with us? What would, would, a once a month submission of, the transactions be too much? Would you not, you know,
Would gift certificates
would
work
get
better?
right,
Do
like
gift
what
certificates?
right, like what would work so that this will work? Because, if we only have buy-in from 3 businesses, maybe we don't do this, and so I could start a little research with the businesses if you want.
I think that's our next step.
I like the sound of that too.
And I mean, I love the 100 neighbors who care thing, but I also think it's not the thing to start with. Because
Yeah,
You know,
I
we
mean,
wanna-
I'm fine not to take on work, but
Right.
I also was just trying to do
Sure.
something that I thought was more realistic.
well, I
But
think
but
that
I want to support the committee and
Yeah.
what you all want to do.
I think
Yeah.
there is definitely that has a lot of potential, but I also think that in order to make a good case, we need to be a little bit more than a really good mission statement and a logo contest.
Right.
I think we need to be more established. I really,
I think that's what I'm seeing.
I think, yeah, I think, jumping in and asking for 25, 5, 10, 15, 20, whatever you want to do. If you wanted to do 100,
Well,
go
I
ahead.
went
But
to this program, honestly,
What?
but I went to this program just because I've gotten a lot of feedback from people in the community that aren't, for all the reasons I said the last week, that aren't feeling good about the pay it forward. And so I mean, but I think I'm not the voice of this committee, and I'm also not the voice of the people of Barry. I say if you all want to do that, then let's do it. It's not going to hurt to do a pay it forward campaign.
Well, and it's like,
There
yeah.
are municipalities who have this up and running, right?
to pay it forward,
Yeah.
I think so, and I can put it out to the other downtown organizations in Vermont to see if anybody
It would,
has done it.
because it might be useful to get some. How's this working for you?
Right.
And also, I mean, I've had experience with this actually often in churches where somebody has a great idea, but they don't actually ask the population they're having the great idea about. So I do think talking to the businesses and, really having, some input from them. It's like, it's so often it's like, oh, I will be, I will do this for you. And it's like, but I don't want this, it's that sort
Yeah,
of,
and that's one of the neat things about the 100 neighbors who care
yeah.
model is that the people who donate the money have a say in what happens to it.
Well, there is that, but the people who
But-
receive the money
but
also
people-
need to.
Right.
That's the part.
People that receive the money do a pitch.
Right, exactly.
Right.
And that's where the
Right.
pay it forward, we just don't have the information.
Right.
We don't.
Not really. I mean,
Yeah.
you've had some interview, with the people who are actually doing this, but then there's all the people who aren't doing it, on the street.
Right.
And those are the businesses we wanna.
And I would say outside of businesses, I would encourage the committee to talk to the service people providing services already, because that's what I've heard too. It's like they feel like they've heard about this and feel like why are they doing that? This is what we do, and we built our organization around doing these services, and so why is this? So there's a lot of confusion, I think, in the community, and it might be nice to just be clear about, our intent and also how that impacts.
I don't remember any
organizations.
conversation about this. We talked about this at the last meeting.
Yeah, last meeting, I emailed, I think before the last meeting
Oh,
too, with
okay.
just a list of,
Oh, I thought that was your feelings about it. I didn't
that was
realize
mine,
that
but they
was
were
yours.
informed by people that
Okay.
have
I
communicated
didn't
about
realize that. I missed that point.
what they heard, and then also nationally.
Yeah.
But again, I'm not
Where did
trying
they
to say
hear
don't
about
do
it?
it, I'm just saying,
How did they hear about
oh,
it?
people are real in tune with what we're doing.
There are a lot of people who are, curious about what we're up to, and, there's been a lot of conversations
All right.
And there are a lot of people, I mean, like, people on council get asked, and so we get not always the official committee response. We get it's filtered through whatever the counselor who just got asked about it remembers about the conversation.
So it's a bit of misinformation.
Yeah,
probably you'll know.
I'm sure that's not happening. That telephone
Exactly.
thing, remember?
Oh, yeah.
Up over your,
Yeah.
So there, but that doesn't mean that that people don't have feelings about stuff.
Mhm.
Maybe.
Yes.
Yeah. They don't have to be informed, they're just feelings.
And I apologize, I have to be at work at 2:30 today, so I have to go, but I support whatever you'll decide. I'm just here to like put out cautions too, but and,
Yeah.
put in as much effort as I can.
Yeah.
All right. I'll take it.
Raising money and having Barry be great.
Thanks, Ginger.
Yes. Do you have any way of knowing who is attending this meeting virtually?
Yeah, there's no one on.
Okay. So we don't need to invite them to.
To speak, right?
Yeah, no
Yeah.
one has joined us. No one
No
has
need
joined
to.
us.
Yeah. But I do think, I mean, I hate to see something end without actually investigating it. I think that's the problem. And I do know that in the service area, there's sometimes some turf feelings that are actually overblown from some of our experience.
Definitely. Yeah, there are some yeah.
No names.
No names. I wasn't going to say any names. I was just saying there are some territorial issues.
Yeah. It's just, it is pretty funny.
But
I wasn't trying to be disrespectful. I feel like if our community needs things, and I feel like I do like the 100+ thing,
Yeah,
but I feel
I think
like
that
more people
yeah.
are gonna give $5 or $10.
certainly now.
Well,
Right.
that's my feeling. It's like,
And
it's
maybe
a good
it's
idea
Start
for
with this.
Start with something
And
small,
small.
and
that we
then
can actually accomplish.
and then be like,
Just
you know
bike
what?
rides.
Right.
That's a big
Right.
thing.
And you know what? We can say like, all right, in 2026, we brought the Pay It Forward campaign. We helped these people. We
Yep.
did this. We raised this amount of money.
Yep.
This year, we're focusing on the 100+ camp,
Yeah.
and help
Yeah,
us
good
get
point.
there.
Yeah.
Like,
I think
I don't think it's a bad thing, but I didn't like how it was just dismissed and now we weren't doing it. But then,
no, I'm
it
glad
was-
you brought it back up
Okay.
because
I'm very glad you brought
yeah,
it back up.
because I do think it's a bite-sized
right.
response.
Yeah.
And that
Yeah.
for us right now, that's good. And
Yeah.
and also the people who don't have any trouble committing $100 or $500 or whatever do need a good.
They're not just going to be like, oh,
Yeah,
you want
well,
100? Here you go. Like
the ones that I know.
when they don't
want
know
good-
what
yeah,
we're
they want a
doing,
good,
what we've accomplished.
yeah, they want a good case.
You should
made.
see me trying to get money from Tom Lazan for
Oh,
the Rock City concert, which we had 10 years of track record of raising $3,000 a year for things. Anyway, I got it though.
Good for you.
Yeah, but and
Send
but
it
he
after
needed to
him for
know.
that,
He
yeah.
needed to know what it was doing, what our past had been. And that
rightly
makes
so.
sense because there are so many demands on our money now.
And it's always easier to spend someone else's money than to spend your own.
Exactly. Well, and I think the drain project, however unsexy it is, actually is really on the ground ability to talk to people and form groups. Some neighborhoods have stronger, like Orange Street. Basically, I know pretty much everybody on the street.
Yeah.
It would be easy to because if I don't know somebody at one end, somebody I know
Somebody
knows
else
some,
does.
I mean,
Right.
that's how neighborhoods
Right.
work.
And
You don't have to
Kansas
know everybody. You
Street-
have to know.
The
Yeah,
Kansas Street.
We have a little long.
We have a little
Yeah.
enclave too.
And Courier Park has a pretty strong
Yeah.
group. I mean,
It's that kind of,
Yeah.
From those little enclaves
Yeah.
that you can reach out, we can reach out across the street to the Sams, or to Janelle or, to other people and draw them in. And that's easier than sort of just saying, who's the neighborhood captain? Go do it.
yeah, exactly. Well, there is that. I mean, I just knowing people like Fred Pond up on Wellington. I mean, there's
Right,
people
right.
that I know are live wires in their neighborhood.
Yeah. And those are the kinds of people that we can talk to and say, we're trying to do this. adoptive drain thing.
Mhm.
And can you help us find some folks? Are you interested in helping? And, one of the ways you can help is to, recruit some other folks.
And I will say, churches are a great place.
Churches are great places to
for,
for that.
for groups of people who live in disparate neighborhoods.
This is true.
And of course the service club. So it
Right.
feels like, since we don't, it was helpful to see the Burlington thing, since they're part of the program, but they don't actually have to have all
No,
their drains,
right.
because clearly they have more drains than we
It's
do.
a work in progress. Yeah.
So that means that just starting it is one of those
Just
important
something that
things.
is important.
Yeah.
You know,
And it's something the city would potentially help us with, because they're putting money into it. If we need, logistical stuff or
they,
or
name
name.
us.
Yes.
Under
Or-
the city banner on the website, please, because we're trying to do, this is
Yeah.
something the committee's doing for you guys.
Exactly.
Exactly. So yeah.
And they're pretty good about that stuff as long as it doesn't cost money.
Yeah.
Or take too much time.
So I don't know. That was just in
Yeah.
terms of another project that we might get more bang for the buck in our name recognition.
Yeah.
Because there is council support.
Yeah.
Clearly Amanda's driving it forward. So.
When you talk to the businesses, do you have anybody at GMT you can talk to?
I do have a GMT.
Contact, because one of the things that you could ask them, especially if they're, hadn't realized they were starting to charge again, but you can ask them whether they'd want to participate if we could buy somebody a bus pass that would be, and how much it would cost to buy a bus pass to let somebody get back and forth for, a week or a month or whatever you wanted to do, because
That'd be
and
nice.
would they give us a cut? I mean, would they give us a cut rate on that?
Okay.
Since it's,
If we were going to buy 10 bus passes,
Yeah.
would they give us
Yeah,
a deal?
Yeah.
will they give us a deal because
Yeah.
we're
Buy 5, get 5 free.
whatever works. But
girl.
you've done this before.
yeah.
It's like, because we're doing this with volunteer. We're doing this with donated money and not out of the city budget or anything. And
Right.
and we're trying to help people and all the good stuff. All good.
All good.
Because even just a little win on that level,
yeah.
or a gift certificate to Nelson's, or
So when might you have a
Just
chance to
boss,
talk
not-
with businesses? I'm just thinking about
So I've got
like
like different things happening. So I have an email drafted that I will put out to just the retail businesses probably tomorrow morning. I'll do
Beautiful.
one to the Green Mountain, the bus. I've got another email drafted for the logo contest that'll go to the schools. And then I've got a draft post of the logo contest and on the partnership page. And I also have that I'm creating that vision statement flyer, the one sheeter kind of thing. It'll
That's a
be
lot of balls in your court. Okay. You got it?
about half
Okay.
of it done.
Okay.
I do it while I'm working and talking. So those are all what I'm gonna do. And then Ginger said she was gonna do the front porch forum.
Yep.
So I
All of them.
think this post for Facebook will be done this evening. So I will send you an email once it's up for you guys to share on your personal pages if you so
Fabulous.
wish.
Thank you.
Um,
What else can we do to support or to help? Or,
that's where I'm at right now. Let me just think. I did get an email from the Career Center. She thought our meeting was at 2 and not 1. So we'll try to get in touch with her for next week or next month. So will you invite Amanda?
Yeah, I will invite Amanda.
Okay.
She can do that.
And then what do we need to talk about after you talk with the businesses about the pay it forwards?
I can send an email update to you guys.
Okay.
And And
I guess where I was going with that was, do we need to wait until the next meeting before we launch?
I
Or
think
do
if we
we?
could get some input and we
Yeah.
can probably circulate.
we can circulate
Yeah,
that,
I
and
think
then
that.
And then
I'd
decide
like to
before-
not do anything until we actually have a logo,
Okay,
because,
that- thank you.
because,
Yes,
Okay.
that's
but
makes
if we're
sense.
putting that out there and they have until April 2nd, like, we can come to the next meeting,
Okay,
like,
that makes
all right,
sense.
here's the choices, and are we picking? So I think she put April 2nd, so that's 30 days from today. Our next meeting is April 6th. So we can put on our agenda logo design, logo contest, entries, review and make a decision and pick winner.
Cool. But it makes sense to have the mayor pick the winner.
No.
No.
Mm.
No.
This is nonsense. It's a hard job. Why don't we?
We can do it. What we might do is ask the mayor or ask council to make the award. You know, sort of to have some,
If you do that, they'll want some buy-in.
not really. I mean, we can do I can draft a resolution that just says we want to honor the person who won the Neighborly Berry
Yeah. All right.
logo thing. And not, I mean, that's, we do that kind of thing, that one of the local teams got invited to a national
Okay.
competition, and we had them all come, and had written up a little thing honoring them and the coaches. And it's just
That was
a
enough.
feel good thing, and everybody likes it. And I think that's what this would be. And I think that's all the involvement that the mayor and council would really need to have, or desire on that. They don't want
Okay. All right.
to say we like this or we don't like this logo.
And I was just double checking with GMT. And it basically says currently they have no plans to raise the fare. So we'll just have to keep track of that.
What is it currently for Barre to
Oh,
Montpelier?
0. They
Oh,
said
so
that they're trying to
it's
keep
free?
the rural ones. It's still
So
free.
that bus one that I saw was from Michigan. So
Yeah,
that was
that's what I mean. I was
Yeah.
just Danielle had said something, and I
I guess I didn't know it was free.
It
Yeah.
is now. It was
Free.
free all through COVID, through the whole system.
Oh.
Chittenden County, now they have to start paying. They have to
Oh,
start
well, that makes
charging.
no sense to the people that are like, I have no money to get the bus.
But I thought I read
When they were
something
looking for
about
money last year,
them starting
like,
to charge here.
Well, that's the thing. On their current website says they have no plans.
Well,
The
but-
Greyhound.
but-
don't.
Okay,
But-
here's a little piece of background that you may need to know.
Yeah.
They are going to have to be talking to council, because it's on the city budget agenda to cut the support that we get, because Nicholas did some research
Support
about-
that you give.
the
Yeah.
support that we give to them
Yeah.
from the taxpayer. And the reason for that is because Nicholas did some research about all the area participation in terms of what's on their budget, and discovered that we were like way up here on the scale of who contributes what, and the other comparable communities were contributing a lot less. And so, I mean, the biggest discrepancy was that Waterbury, I can't remember what.
11.
11,000.
Waterbury's paying 11,000.
Yeah,
We're
we
paying
pay
36,
11,000
and Montpelier's paying
and-
30.
Montpelier's paying 3,000 and Waterbury's paying 26 or something ridiculous. And so there's that whole, why are we doing this? And
Right.
when we have that conversation, they may also say, well, if you cut it, we have to raise our
They'll have to
fees.
actually charge.
So, we'll have to actually charge.
They're not charging
Yeah,
now.
we have to actually charge. So that might be something you could ask them. You could just say, we've heard a rumor that, you may be doing this and want to know what
Wouldn't you
the,
be doing that when you have your conversation with them?
we will ask them that question, but can't remember when that may not be until after Nicholas gets back from Australia.
Well,
So it might
Yeah.
it might be worth
and they're asking
back-
the legislature for money too. So I mean,
Right,
for
they're
the whole
asking everybody
system.
for
So
money.
they're
Okay.
under a lot of strain right now. Let me put it
Yeah.
that way.
yeah. So
So,
they're not going to be happy that they're getting cut.
no, and I understand that, but I also think that they've cut services considerably here.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, it's a death spiral,
It's a death
unfortunately.
spiral. So, you know, the question of, you know, are you thinking of going back to charging? And if you do, what are you going to charge? And, you know, would you be open to this if this happens? Because we're concerned about this and we're looking at ways that we can address the needs that, you know, Barre folks have.
Okay.
I just hope that doesn't push them into charging because they think that we're gonna do something.
That's why Tracy should ask and not me.
Gotcha.
Tracy's not counsel. She can just say, I've heard these
Rumors.
concerns that
There you go.
people, you know,
Good point.
people in the community raise concerns that, you know, we know that GMT is
Things are
having
happening.
problems and we're afraid that they're going to start charging. And if they say, oh, no, we don't have any plans to, you know, we'd stop the bus service before we charge. That's information we need.
Okay.
That wouldn't be a good answer, but
Yeah, that would be kind of
No,
horrific.
but you know, it would
horrible.
be interesting.
Yeah,
To, you know, be
yeah.
interesting to hear.
Yeah.
So I've started the agenda for next month's meeting just so that we have it. Call to order, approve minutes, logo contest entries, review and pick winner, pay it forward campaign, Tracy update. And then the Career Center, if they come back in, Amanda with the adopt a drain, miscellaneous matters, and adjournment, unless there's other things we want
You
to.
know, we had talked about inviting somebody from the Friends of the Library. Do we want to just?
I thought
I never
put-
did
I
that.
thought
I
you
never
are.
did that.
We pushed.
I am a friend of the library, but I don't go to their meetings. So
Well,
I
have
think
two,
we
but I-
pushed the wellness library connection thing off, didn't we? Table
yes, we
Yeah,
did table that.
that? You know, so that's not
That's
the
right.
immediate thing.
Yeah. Just not to lose sight of that.
No, I think we shouldn't lose sight of it. But
And another thing that we shouldn't lose sight of is we talked about generating a list of people who might be willing to help. You
A
know, the Service
volunteer.
Club,
What?
the Senior Service Center, the church coffee hours, and I just don't want to lose sight of that. We don't need to.
Right.
Do I want to add on our meeting, like if we could start a volunteer, like just to create a link that's on our website, on our social media. If you want to volunteer for the Neighborly Berry, like we're starting to look at things that we want to do this summer, but we're trying to gain.
right.
Once the flyer is out
Right.
on the front page form thing, then we'll have names to put on the list.
And then Ginger did just send to our email a logo. She must have just created this.
Well, he likes flowers.
Yeah. I had just created something very simple because she said she didn't want to. So I had just created that, like just, and then all the wording underneath. So that was what I created for Facebook.
Let's go with hers.
Can I
Hers.
see? Can I see Ginger's?
That's
I think
mine,
yours.
and then
as long as it has all the stuff on it. It's
Yeah.
nice to have.
Exactly.
Well, do we have some people here?
Oh, I think that's fine.
That's fine. I mean, it is sort of, hopefully it's spring-like because the only,
Yeah.
for in terms of logos, I wouldn't want one too associated with, say, a season. It's always, mine because you want to use it.
Yeah. But this is for the contest.
No, exactly. This
Yeah.
is, I think it's,
You okay with that?
oh yeah, totally.
yeah,
Just gonna have her
Yeah.
send it to me in JPEG, and then I will change the font.
Perfect.
yeah.
Do we have other business
Not that I.
to adjourn?
Well, wait. I have one
wait.
thing that is lurking in the background of my. Oh, I know. It was the We talked about this. Did it fall off the list of things we want to do? We talked about making or collecting the information about what events and services and things for new members for new residents in Barre, what things are available.
I thought we had that. Don't we have a QR code? that's
We have
in
a
there?
QR for the QR code for mental health and services for basically
Washington County
service
Mental
for Washington County Mental Health, services for needy people. But we were thinking about we talked about something that
Like-
would be more generally applicable to new residents that would have things like, the churches and where you go for a craft group
Or the bridge club.
the bridge club
Yeah.
and the
I thought
garden
we had
club.
that too. No,
No.
Okay.
I think we talked about adding that or doing that, but
We do have, what did we create in our, hold on.
Go back to the drive. Huh?
The drive, go back to that
Back to the
drive.
drive.
It all goes back to the drive, yeah.
I'm gonna have to.
Well,
work
it is
on
interesting because the person I was sharing, doing the overnight thing was I don't remember his last name, but Dwight, who was the new priest or new minister at the Presbyterian Church.
Oh, okay.
And we spent a lot of time with him talking about where to go for things
Right.
because he moved here in November.
Yeah, you can't figure anything
from
out.
from Ohio, and and it was just like he said. I was really surprised. You have a Walmart? I'm like, yeah, we have Walmart. But he was like trying to find. He wanted window shades, but it was more not that these are things that we would put in it, but it was really interesting to even having a group, a place to come for new residents to ask about things.
That'd be a good thing for us to do someday.
Yeah.
Back in the day, there used to be a visitors information
Yeah.
booth on the city park.
Yeah, and there was also one. Remember when we had a grocery store.
Yeah.
Well, once we get up and running, maybe we could have a visitor, or a new residence little information thing in the gazebo one day a month or something if we have people who
In the
want
warm weather.
In the warm weather. I mean,
Yeah,
just-
yeah.
not
Yes,
necessarily.
oh, I didn't know how
Whether we
Gail.
could do it,
This is what
we
Barry's
could
like.
do it. We could have a booth at the farmers market or some in the indoor farmers market for the cold weather.
Yeah.
I mean, if we had, that isn't something that we personally need to take on.
No.
But we might, that might be a
Yeah.
place
One
to
of us-
put.
Oh,
one of us
as
should
in,
go to the next farmers market if we actually have a brochure to hand out.
and also, I am working with Montpelier Alive and another organization that Montpelier Alive created based on a grant that they got. But we're doing a new resident social on March 26th
Oh, nice.
here at the social club.
Nice.
So,
Great idea.
Yeah.
yeah,
You're
more than
White's on the
anybody's
list.
more than welcome to come.
Well, you gotta have some of the old timers.
Make sure
You have to
make sure
sign up
you
for the
invite
mayor.
make sure you invite the city council members,
Okay.
like sort of officially, because that would be a good way, good way to connect people up with the political stuff a little bit.
Kat posted on Facebook today that you have to sign up for their newsletter in order to know what's happening there. Because she said she's gonna stay off of Facebook a little bit more. So I signed up for her newsletter. Okay.
Just send me send me the link or forward one to me so I can sign up for it too.
I'll do that.
Thanks.
I'll do that when I get home tonight.
Yeah, I dragged Marjorie in there the other day to show her around.
It's so cute.
It is. I was
Really very
I was
nice.
like, wow, they did a beautiful.
Isn't it beautiful?
I was trying to remember what that building was before. Was the
It was the bike shop.
well, it was the bike shop, but I meant
Before that.
Way before that.
way back. Yeah, I mean, what
Merchants Bank.
businesses were there?
Jenny's bookstore was there.
Well, yeah,
Before that, it was
No.
April's Hard.
it was Avrils. Okay,
Ah,
that's the going
Yeah.
back in time because I think we have photos of Avrils hardware
And
in the
Abrams was one that had
1890s.
they
or
were the
something.
one that had the moving ladder to
Yes.
get into the
Yes.
and the guy who knew where everything was. He
Right.
just said,
Well,
I
remember
need-
Bryant Daly?
Yeah.
I need a gidget.
You just walk
What
in there and
size?
it was the same sort of thing. But yeah, I think there's a great photo of it. And I wonder if they probably don't know it because I saw some great historic photos in there. But there is a photo of the
Oh, yeah.
grocery store from like
Yeah.
the 1890s,
Yeah, yeah,
and you can see the tin, roof, the ceiling,
ceiling.
and the
Yeah.
beams and stuff.
Nice.
Because I walked in and went, okay, they've
Nice.
really gotten it down to the old.
yeah.
Yeah, they did a
Instead of
really
trying
nice
to
job.
to hide it. I love about Barre and old houses and old buildings is they tend to cover it up and not rip it out so that you can actually.
Or they do
it.
nothing.
Yes, or they do
We,
nothing.
we were lucky
Yes.
enough to find a house where they did nothing.
Oh, me
They did
too.
Nothing.
Me too.
Which is-
Exactly. Well,
it's
yeah,
like,
old Barclay House.
I've still got
Yeah.
the ice block.
Yeah. Yeah.
Still in place.
Across the
Are we
week.
wandering off?
We are wandering off.
Yeah, but I will say that
But yeah.
there are often historic. If we ever wanted to tie past and present together, there are often really cool images. Like I keep every time we talk about neighborhood stuff, and I keep thinking about the around 1910, 1912, the ward cleanup crews. And all the kids, and there's some adults standing there, and every spring they
Ooh.
clearly cleaned up. There's great photos of just them. And when there were 6 wards instead of 3.
That might be fun.
But yeah, there's some good images that you can put together.
Yeah.
It's sort of because that does tie into the old timer civic pride,
Yeah.
you know, because you want to get everybody
But it's
involved.
always on May 1st. Right?
But we don't have to do it on May 1st.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's
we
my
could
daughter's
make it,
birthday,
we
so-
could make it a
Yeah.
Barre thing that
Yes.
happens some other time.
Exactly.
You know, right before the Heritage Festival or something.
You know,
But I-
those folks
yeah.
who do the cleanup thing, they would be prime members of our volunteer crowd.
Right.
absolutely.
Exactly. That's
And for your damn drain thing.
yes, I love it.
Damn drain.
Damn drain. I love
You
it.
sound so positive.
I know. It's the technocrat getting you, isn't it? Why can't we have a piece of paper and mark it on the piece?
My uncle used to work for the street department. He said he'd been down every manhole in the city.
I bet he had.
I bet he has.
And well, he died a long time ago, but somewhere that data has to exist. And
Well, of course,
if the public works garage actually moves, maybe this would be a good time for somebody to sort through there.
They need to archive it all. Yeah. Organize and
sort
archive it.
through. They need to apply for a grant. This is not
It's not-
small.
Yeah.
Though I will say the VHS now has the big architectural scanner. That's what you need to run the big stuff through.
Right.
And it's pretty gentle. We put down 1810 stuff through it, and it does a nice job.
The Granite Center.
Granite Museum.
The Granite Museum
Yeah.
is doing something.
Well,
with
the cemetery
city-
stuff.
Yeah, the
Yeah, I
cemetery.
was at that meeting,
Yeah, you were there.
and there was some good stuff. There was also
There's also some sort of scary stuff. Yes.
Please get an archivist in there
But,
to help you sort.
yeah.
There was like,
But it's
as an archivist, I was like,
Right.
but it's not.
But
you know,
Scott's Lease Museum trained, so
yeah.
yay.
I mean,
Are we ready to
Yeah.
adjourn?
Yeah.
Let's adjourn.
Motion
Wanna make
to
a motion?
adjourn?
So
2:42 p.m.
There.
All right, there you go.
I'll second it.
All
All
in
in
favor.
Aye.
Yeah. But it is interesting.
I'm just the council.
Yes,
It's just-
that's
you're
true.
just- You're just the council
You
lady.
just
I'm
can't-
just the lid. I just get to bits.
So do you guys want me to pass this thing on? Is that, or does anybody else want to look at it?